Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Milo. Today we're going to be going over a list I compiled of 50, mostly of which have been forgotten, Mortal Kombat characters. When Mortal Kombat Armageddon was released in 2006, one of its selling points was that it supposedly had every Mortal Kombat character ever in its roster, similar to how previously Mortal Kombat Trilogy did the same thing. However, this is not the case. True enough that it had every character that had been playable in one of the mainline titles up until that point, but there were many more characters in spin-offs and adaptations that have never been playable, and most assuredly will never be playable. You may recognize some of these characters, some of them you may not. Regardless, let me know if there's any characters you were surprised to find out were real, or if there's some that you would actually want to see in a modern Mortal Kombat game. So without further ado, here's my list of 50 Mortal Kombat characters that will never be playable in a Mortal Kombat game. First up is Jola.
You know who I am?
No.
On the streets, ask people if they know Jola.
A member of the Black Dragon gang, she could partially transform herself into a dragon and expel dragon fire from her hands. I would give her brother Cabral an entry as well, except he never actually fights, he just dies. That's right, Cabral, as in they added an R to Cabal to create a new member of the Black Dragon. Next is Duroc, Goro's older brother. He was featured in a flashback of Mortal Kombat The Journey Begins. Now, they didn't bother to come up with a new design for Duroc, instead just making him identical to Goro, just a couple shades darker. They depicted him as being more honorable than Goro. He helps his brother up after defeating him, only to be immediately betrayed and killed to win their father's favor. Third is Art Lean from the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. Introduced as a fellow fighter that Johnny Cage recognizes and bonds with on the way to Shang Tsung's island, he's primarily used as a punching bag for Goro to demonstrate the strength of the Shokan Prince. Number 4. No Face. The flamethrower-wielding member of the Black Dragon who was featured as a boss in the Mortal Kombat Special Forces video game. He made a brief reappearance in the Snowblind animated movie. Number 5 is Bo. He's Johnny Cage's bodyguard in the Malibu Comics run of Mortal Kombat. He proves to be a formidable fighter and actually gets to participate in their depiction of the second tournament, though he bows out pretty early on. The next two entries go to Kia and Jitaka. They are two of the three Brotherhood of Shadow assassins serving under Quan Chi. Originally debuting in Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, they returned in Armageddon as enemies in the story mode. More recently, Jitaka has been given a role in the Johnny Cage Legends animated movie. If you thought those were the only assassins to have served under Quan Chi, you'd be wrong. Mortal Kombat Conquest shows that in the era of the Great Kung Lao, he had 3 different assassins, their names being Mika, Sora, and Cian. Though if any of these were to come back in any capacity, it would most likely be Mika. She by far had the most screen time and plotline involvement of the 3. Number 11 is the unnamed Champion of the Elder Gods from Mortal Kombat Deception. Instead of being given a name, his life bar simply says Monster. For the most part, he's a Scorpion clone, borrowing his moveset and design, only slightly tweaked and palette swapped. Number 12 is Lieutenant Lance. In the Malibu Comics depiction of the first Mortal Kombat tournament, Sonya Blade does not sneak onto the island alone. Instead, she is accompanied by Lance, a Special Forces member as well, who has 1 cybernetic arm instead of 2 like Jax. Kano kills him if you're wondering. Entry number 13 is probably the most well-known entry on this list, Cole from the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie. While it might seem like he would be an easy choice to include in the roster, in reality, he's as unlikely to return as Shujinko or Taven. Number 14 is Master Cho from the Mortal Kombat Conquest television series. He's depicted as being older than the conflict between Earthrealm and Outworld entirely. Before the tournaments began, his village was one of the first victims of Outworld aggression. This event would be his motivation to pursue sorcery, Eventually, when the tournaments began, he took on a mentor-like role, training participants for the contests. Until one day, his greatest student, Shang Tsung, betrayed and sealed him away. Another character pivotal to Shang Tsung's backstory takes our number 15 slot. Omijis, Shang Tsung's former love interest, and the one who initially encouraged him to learn the secrets of immortality from Master Cho. When Shang Tsung betrays Earthrealm for Outworld, he leaves her behind as well. Number 16 is Ruby, from Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm. Ruby is a Jade-adjacent character who is a former friend of Kitana, having long ago betrayed her to align herself with Shao Kahn. In the end, she turns on the Emperor to save Jax, who was briefly her love interest. Another Jade stand-in is Kali from Mortal Kombat Conquest. Similarly, she betrays Kitana to align herself with Shao Kahn as a way to avoid his wrath. Why do multiple shows have Jade equivalents without actually having Jade, you might ask? That's because Mortal Kombat 1995 and Mortal Kombat Annihilation were both used as the base canon for Defenders of the Realm and MK Conquest. And if you didn't know, Jade dies in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Number 18 is Grum. He's a participant in the MK1 tournament depicted by Malibu Comics. He proclaims himself the ruler of Katala, wherever that is. Grum makes use of his 6 arms by wielding 6 nunchucks at once, but in the end they don't help him that much against Sub-Zero. Number 19, Zero from MK Conquest. In an attempt to mirror the dynamic between Johnny Cage, Sonya, and Liu Kang from the 1995 movie, 2 characters were introduced into the time of the Great Kung Lao to fill those spaces. Zero is the Johnny Cage equivalent in that equation. He's a former bodyguard of the local Baron, who joins up with Kung Lao after the Baron died. Who filled the Sonya Blade role in the dynamic? That would be Taja, played by Kristanna Loken, who you may know as the Terminator from Terminator 3. I honestly would be surprised if Taja was not the direct inspiration for Kira in the later Mortal Kombat games. Number 21, Asgarth from Defenders of the Realm. He's some sort of avian humanoid from Edenia. Kitana refers to him as King Jared's most esteemed knight. Number 22, Sayang from the Malibu Comics run. In their version of the Mortal Kombat timeline, Liu Kang is not the one chosen by the Order of Light to represent them at the Mortal Kombat tournament. Instead, 2 monks sing and sang that have the power to fuse together like Go-Tanks. They are the ones that are chosen to represent the Order of Light. He actually dies twice in the series. The first time is to Goro, but the writer refuses to let his OC die and brings him back only to be killed by Scorpion the second time around. Entries 23 and 24 are Anka and Kiri. They're 2 Zaterrans from the Conquest show. Oddly enough, they're the only 2 with anything unique about them. All the other Zaterrans on the show wear identical outfits and are all referred to as Reptile. Number 25 is Zagat, the god of the realm of chaos and the main antagonist of the Prince of Pain arc in the Malibu Comics. His counterpart and brother Abacus is the god of the Realm of Order, but never actually fights, so he doesn't make it onto this list. Their appearance in Prince of Pain were our first glimpse into the realms of order and chaos, quite a long time before their eventual depictions in Mortal Kombat Deception. Number 26, the Combatant. Basically just Goro with a robot head. This was Zagat's creation that was able to not only take down Goro, but also a plethora of other characters as well. How did he die? Well, Goro got a giant gun from the Realm of Order and blasted him, of course. Number 27, Kassar from Mortal Kombat Conquest. He's not only Zero's brother, but he's also a member of the Shirai Ryu, serving under Scorpion. The depiction of the Shirai Ryu in that show is extremely different. Scorpion is already an undead specter when he is leading his group of assassins. Also, Kassar was dating Ava Mendez in the show. That's right, Ava Mendez was in Mortal Kombat Conquest. I didn't see that one coming either. Oh, and Kassar gets killed by Scorpion for leaving the clan, in case you were wondering. Number 28 is Zara from Defenders of the Realm. She's the leader of a group of Amazon-like warriors that are on the hunt for a set of relic weapons known as the Swords of Ilkhan. The swords are said to bestow unfathomable power, but only to someone that can wield both simultaneously. Apparently, her and Katana have had run-ins in the past, and even though they are both against Shao Kahn, they do not see eye to eye. If you thought Zagat and Abacus were going to be the only obscure gods on this list, think again. Mortal Kombat Mythologies introduced 3 that seem like maybe at one point they were intended to be fleshed out as much as Fujin was, but they weren't. Where Fujin is the god of wind, Raiden is the god of lightning and thunder, Mortal Kombat Mythologies gives us the Earth God, the Fire God, and the Water God, all without proper designs and without proper names. Of course, not to be confused with the elemental forms the Elder Gods take in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Number 32, Tomas from Mortal Kombat Conquest. If Zero wasn't a close enough stand-in for Johnny Cage for you, well, Tomas checks even more of those boxes off. And if you're curious how he dies, first he gets cancelled. Then, while trying to redeem himself from the shame, he jumps in front of Reptile's acid and takes it to the face and dies. Number 33 is Henge. He's some kind of stone man from the Nightmare Realm, which if you're wondering what the Nightmare Realm is, that's what they called it before they had the official Netherrealm term. He only has one appearance in the Malibu comics, where he first beats Bo, but then quickly gets defeated by Liu Kang. Number 34 is Oniro. In Defenders of the Realm, Smoke and Sub-Zero are not captured by cybernetic Lin Kuei. Instead, it is the master of the Lin Kuei himself that is the one to defeat and capture Smoke. Number 35 and 36, Wind and Rain. And that's Rain with a Y. This predated the Edenian Prince. These two were sisters that were featured in the Raiden and Kano Malibu comic. They were servants of Raiden that lived at his home and attended him there. They only have one fight, but that's good enough to get them on this list. Together they fight Kano. How strong they are individually, who knows, but together they manage to overpower the Black Dragon Thug. Number 40 on our list is Draxon the Black Dragon. This former Emperor of Outworld was the wielder of a magic blade called Ebon Rule. He appears in a flashback of the Raiden and Kano Malibu comic. Not sure how to pronounce this guy's name, but our 38th entry was the right-hand man of Draxon, similar to how Shang Tsung is for Shao Kahn. That is, until he betrayed Draxon, and under the suggestion of Raiden, took up Ebon Rule for himself, and used it to slay the Emperor. Number 39, Vorpax from Mortal Kombat Conquest. The majority of the series, she's depicted as just being an underling of Shang Tsung. But eventually, near the end, it's revealed that she's actually part of a unique species of queen bee / Amazon women that are at war with Shao Kahn, that has come to Earth to succubus style remove all the men and replace the population with their own. You heard right, that's real. Number 40, Empress Kreia, the leader of the Amazon bee women. Highlights of her time in the show include keeping Shang Tsung in a cage so she can breed with him, and getting killed in a 3-on-1 match where afterwards Vorpax absorbs her Queen Bee powers Highlander style. Once again, this really happens. Next up, we have a collection of Special Forces characters exclusive to the Special Forces Mortal Kombat Malibu comic. Among this team, we get Silence, Vapor, Lieutenant Mika Stone, Cody Finnegan, and Torque. Together, they battle the Black Dragon forces of our 46th entry, Rojak, whose plotline revolves around retrieving Outworld gold stashed behind very specific portals. Our next entry is also a member of the Black Dragon, Tazia, who is a twin katana-wielding boss in Mortal Kombat Special Forces. She also made a brief appearance in the Mortal Kombat X comic series. Number 48, the unnamed fighter that was Liu Kang's first opponent in the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie. If you didn't know, this guy actually played Jax in the Mortal Kombat Live stage show as well. Number 49, in the Malibu Comics run of the first Mortal Kombat tournament, Sub-Zero fights for Earthrealm. Not only that, he is accompanied by another Lin Kuei member to the island. That Lin Kuei member is named Hydro. Just like the previous entry and so many others that are introduced to be fodder for the main cast, Hydro gets jobbed out as well. Who is he a jobber for? Well, it's Scorpion, of course. He actually made a comeback in the Mortal Kombat Legacy web series as the cybernetic Lin Kuei model used to test Sector and Cyrax. We've come to the final entry. This particular character is the least likely to ever come back, and that is Chan. Liu Kang's younger brother, his motivation for entering the tournament in the 1995 film. But alright, that concludes our list. If there's any characters I missed that you think should have been included on this list, let me know. Out of this list, who would you like to see return the most, or make their first appearance as a playable character the most? But alright, thanks for watching. Goodbye.